Now let's put this lens together. Now let's think about this for a second. We actually want all of these pieces to go together, but then we're going to need two of these, right? This is one of two eyeballs on our robot. And each one of those you could think of as a sort of a sub-assembly, an assembly within an assembly, right? Because really the camera is one big assembly, and then it gets attached to the robot. So the first thing I might consider doing is clicking on the lens, shift-clicking on the focus ring to get all this stuff at once, right-click, and then head down here to the very bottom and expand this menu. You'll get a bunch more options, including Form New Subassembly here. Click that guy, and now all of a sudden I have a brand new sub-assembly within my assembly. Now this is where this Feature Manager design tree starts to get really important. I'm going to rename this subassembly Camera Sub, and it's in brackets. You'll see the name of it is in brackets because this is a virtual subassembly. It actually only exists within our main assembly, but that's fine. We don't need an external file for this. And if I expand this down, you'll now see that all of my parts are within that. And if I expand one of those, all of a sudden there's the features within the part. So you can see that this is very powerful. It's a great way of grouping geometry together. Now let's open up our camera subassembly in its own window by clicking Open Assembly, just to clean up our tree a little bit, because things get a little bit confusing. And I'm also going to go here and show my X, Y, and Z planes here, just so that we can see what's going on really well. So we have a kind of a sense of space here. Now what I would like to do is just bring all of these things together. And when we've used mates in the past, we've been mating one piece of geometry, like a face, to another face, like we did with our scissor demo. But in this case, all we have to do is actually put the origins of these parts together. Now all of these origins are hidden. Let me show the origin of our assembly there. And then head up here to my View menu. That's this little Hide Show Items here. Let's show that. And I'm going to show Origins. And you see now I have a little blue origin point representing kind of the center of our universe here in SOLIDWORKS. This is the center of our camera sub-assembly. And if I look at, let's say, let me hide all of these components except for the lens. Okay? So our lens is floating out in space, and this is our assembly universe. Let's expand our lens, and I'm going to show its origin. And now you can see, this is the origin of the lens, and this is the origin of our assembly. All we need to do is put those together, and a mate will allow us to do that. So let's click the Mate tool, and then I can choose those origins, and I can either choose them in the tree here, or I can choose them in the viewport. I'm going to choose this origin, and then click and choose that origin, and it's going to snap those together perfectly. And the beauty of using origins is that it doesn't just make the points themselves coincident, it actually makes each of the axes coincident as well, so it aligns everything perfectly. Okay, let's actually click OK to end the Mate tool, and we'll hide this component for a second. And I'm actually going to hide these planes now as well, because we have this origin, we know what's going on. I'm going to show the lens ring, and let's move that into place. I'll go up to my Mate command once again. Let's expand down our tree, and we'll do it from the tree this time instead of from the graphics viewport. I'm going to expand the lens ring part, grab that origin, and then mate it to the origin of the camera subassembly. Now, this is a little bit tedious to do one by one, but the reason we're doing it is really for practice. I just want you to kind of get used to the idea that if you have a whole bunch of different things, you can put them back together really easily using these methods. So let's hide these origins and just do them now, all using the tree. We'll go Mate, and I want to mate the focus ring origin to the assembly origin. Boom. And when I click OK, it's going to run the Mate tool again, so I don't actually have to fire it back off. We'll just go to the camera body now, mate that origin to the assembly origin. Boom. And finally, this focus ring will do that origin to the assembly origin, and we're all set. We'll click OK and OK, and we're back to a fully defined assembly. Now clearly I have two different copies of my focus ring, right? I have focus ring 1, let's see, where is it? There it is, focus ring 1, that's the one we didn't like, and focus ring 2, which is the one we do like. Well, I want to keep around focus ring 1 just in case the client comes back and wants to see it again, but I don't want to see it and I don't want it affecting my assembly in any way. So let's right-click on focus ring 1 and head up to this new button right up here. We've never used this one before. It's called Suppress. You click that, it turns gray, and now it's basically as if that part isn't there. That part is no longer acting on our assembly in any way. It's completely hidden from us, but more than hidden, it's actually just not even there. It won't show up at all. To bring it back, all we would have to do is right-click and unsuppress, and it comes right back. Okay, so I'm going to take that and suppress it, and we can close this window. Yes, we want to save it, and back in our main assembly, we now have a sub-assembly of our entire lens all put together. If I show my planes here, we'll be able to drag that, and you can see we have a lens that moves all together as one big camera. Very cool stuff. Let's make that other camera.